Sridhar Venkatesh now joins us. He's the chair of the Chennai chapter of Democrats Abroad, Democrats in India. Sridhar, first of all, congratulations. We were speaking to Carolyn earlier in the day as soon as it was clear. The picture was clear, but the extent, guys were cautiously optimistic, but the extent, did that surprise you?
Oh, well, I think, given the past two elections, nobody was really willing to say it was over until it was really over. And so I think we were all, even this morning, extremely nervous, even as the election results were coming in and going state by state. We were really being very hesitant to call it until it was done. But we're really excited right now.
Sridhar, it seems symptomatic of how this campaign was run. Even the campaign that we've had a little bit of been a witness to in India here, in comparison to how the Democrats and the Republicans have run their campaigns abroad, it seemed like the Democrats were much more organized, were much more people-friendly, used new media a lot more. Is that your perception as well?
Yeah, I think definitely. I think part of the thing is, if we look at the statistics, there's about 7 million Americans that live abroad, and it turns out that a large percentage of those are actually Democrats or lean, Democratic leaning. And so because of that, I think the Democratic Party has also put a lot more focus on Democrats and Americans that are living abroad. And so a lot of our efforts here in Chennai and throughout India were really to get out the vote campaigns. As long as we could get as many Americans registered and able to put in their votes, then we were pretty sure that we were helping the Democratic cause. And you can see that even in the last election in 2006, it was actually votes from abroad that helped tip some crucial congressional races and handed the Congress, at least the House of Representatives, over to the Democrats. And so, through experiences like that, I think the Obama campaign especially put a lot of focus on Americans abroad and in this election.
Give us a ballpark figure, Sridhar. How many Democrats were you really dealing with here in India?
So it's we don't have exact numbers, but there's in India there's tens of thousands of Americans, and it's a very diverse community. You have a number of Indians that grew up in India, moved to the U.S., took citizenship, and are now back in India. And then you have the expat community, and even amongst Americans that come from, grew up in the U.S. and come over here, they're in very diverse fields. They're in technology companies, they're in NGOs, they're students, so you have across the board. So it's hard to get access to all of them, and that's been one of our challenges. But definitely this election and the desire to participate in this election really helped bring a lot of potential voters to us and helped us really register a number of Americans and help them out in the voting process.
In that process, Sridhar, did you ever come across a phenomenon of this sort because of the large lead that was projected before the polls? Did you find Democrats not really willing to vote, saying, or being a bit lazy, saying he's going to win anyway?
Well, I think that probably has happened in the past, on both sides, where even in the U.S., because of the different time zones in the U.S., you see, people on the West Coast generally know results, and that definitely can affect voter turnout. I think in this election, though, everybody realized that their vote was crucial. And so I don't think even coming up to the end, there was not many Democrats who were willing to call it for Obama, and even up to the last minute. And so everybody was trying to make sure they got in their vote. And especially in this case, in either case, it was going to be a historic election. And so every American that I've spoken to and that I know was very keen to participate and really wanted to make sure that they were able to talk about this election to their grandkids and so on.
Well, that has been one of the talking points, the voter turnout both in the U.S. and apparently also abroad. Sridhar Venkatesh, Chennai, head of the Democrats abroad here in India. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll let you go and party now in Chennai. Thanks for joining us. Well, one of those moments that will never, in fact, die from our memories is
not only ourselves, but each other.
Well, Sridhar Venkatesh, Democrats Abroad, Chennai chapter. In fact, he joins us now from Chennai to put Obama's victory into perspective for us today. Sridhar, first of all, congratulations on Obama's victory there. The president-elect in his speech today mentioned twice the global financial crisis and also said that America will overcome that crisis over there. How is there a concrete plan perhaps in place by Mr. Obama wherein he will be able to bail out America at this point in time?
Well, I think there's a number of measures that that his campaign, that his team is going to be looking at in order to bring the country into a better financial position. I think some of the things that he outlined during his campaign will definitely come into play. There's a lot of tax-related measures. There's measures for small businesses. I think overall, there's a lot of different factors that are affecting the economy as well as how the economy is affecting people in their day-to-day lives. And so that includes healthcare costs, that includes jobs, that includes a variety of different issues. So I think all of those are going to go into his decisions on how he's going to help improve the economy, both in the U.S. and then its ripple effects worldwide.
Right, Sridhar. Also, the next stage for him would be to select now the people for his cabinet. Do you see any major changes there in governance, as we saw with President Bush earlier on, that he in some way set aside the bureaucracy and hand-picked people on his own for certain areas? Do we see Obama doing the same, perhaps?
So I think what we'll probably see a little bit different from Obama than from Bush is that Obama definitely seeks both sides of any viewpoint on any issue, and so I think what we'll see is a mix of different types of people, different types of background, possibly even some Republicans that make it into his inner circle and help influence all the decisions that he's going to be making.
Right, Sridhar. Also, we've seen reports wherein there were indications perhaps that Bill Clinton, the former President of the United States, may be roped in some capacity as an ambassador on issues like perhaps Kashmir. Do we also see Obama extending a hand to Hillary Clinton as well?
Possibly. It's hard to say right now, but I think Obama does recognize that Hillary Clinton was a major force and continues to be a major force for the American people as well as in U.S. politics. And so I think he definitely will be working with her very closely as we go forward, to tackle some of these issues.
All right, Sridhar, final question to you. Can India expect better and warmer ties with the U.S. and prove analysts wrong, perhaps, that Democrats are not as friendly with India as the Republicans?
Yeah, so actually, I might take a little bit challenge to that statement. I think historically, actually, Democrats have been pretty favorable to India. I think in the last 10 years, during the Bush administration, Bush definitely shifted closer with the nuclear deal and put a lot of policies in place which brought the two countries together. I think right now the trajectory that both of the countries are on is definitely in a positive direction. And there's nothing that can stop that now. I don't think a change in the administration in the U.S. is going to dampen that in any way. And in fact, I think Obama and Biden have stated that the relationship between U.S. and India are going to be very close. It's a very important relationship. And even in the past, even as a senator in Illinois, Obama had very close ties with the Indian American community there. People mentioned earlier, he actually carries a Hanuman with him, and so he understands the Indian American community in the U.S. He understands India. I think he understands the issues that are important on both sides, and I think overall it's a very positive step for relationships with India.
Right, Sridhar Venkatesh, there, many thanks for joining us and giving us that perspective into Obama's victory today. Well, Microsoft founder Bill Gates expressed hope that U.S. President-elect